BTS Army's ultimate gamble. If they fail, Jimin and Jungkook stand to lose everything in a revelation that has shaken the global music industry to its core. Reports have emerged suggesting that two of BTS's most prominent members, Jungkook and Jimin, are now facing what could become the greatest professional gamble of their lives. But what exactly lies behind this unprecedented tension? And why are fans worldwide terrified that if they fail, they could lose everything they have built so far? The shock erupted following news that Jungkook has decided to reject his solo world tour plans, igniting questions over whether this was truly his personal choice or a strategic move orchestrated by hidden corporate dynamics. Did his decision stem from emotional ties to Jimin, or are there deeper, undisclosed reasons threatening both their careers? Sources within the South Korean music industry have stated that Jungkook's refusal to proceed with his world tour, despite its potential to solidify him as a global solo powerhouse, was not merely a private matter. Internal briefings suggest that HYB Entertainment's senior management expressed severe disappointment, blaming emotional and logistical complications associated with Jimin. This accusation has sparked outrage, confusion, and fear among ARMY worldwide. If HYB's strategy to sustain BTS's market dominance depends on each member's solo momentum, what happens when the youngest member withdraws at the peak of his commercial potential 4 weeks? The rumor mill spun furiously over whether Jungkook's decision was purely personal or an act of loyalty to Jimin. Multiple insiders have confirmed that Jimin's name was explicitly mentioned as a key factor inhibiting Jungkook's tour plans, intensifying speculation about the true nature of their bond and the sacrifices being made behind closed doors. Could an emotional attachment strong enough to override corporate directives lead to a downfall not only for them as individuals, but for the brand power of BTS as a whole? The tension escalated further when it was revealed that both Jimin and Jungkook are currently in Los Angeles for undisclosed reasons, sparking questions about whether they are secretly working on a joint project. If so, this could directly sabotage the carefully mapped corporate agenda for Jungkook's solo rollout. Is their decision an act of rebellion against the industry's demands, or simply an emotional necessity born from brotherhood and psychological burnout? A senior Korean entertainment journalist highlighted that a world tour is not merely a series of concerts. It is a strategic corporate milestone that tests an artist's ability to align professional expectations with personal stability. In this context, Jungkook's choice to halt his solo tour is far more than an artistic delay. It is a disruption to the entire organizational blueprint that HYB has crafted for the coming years. Could this become the moment that permanently alters the trajectory of BTS's legacy? Adding to the severity of this revelation, reports indicate that Bang Si-hyuk himself has expressed deep frustration over the situation, with staff suggesting he sees this as a betrayal of corporate vision. The unspoken fear among fans is simple yet devastating. If HYB deems Jungkook's decision to have undermined its strategic market position, will the agency retaliate against him or Jimin, either subtly or overtly? Through future project exclusions, international analysts have described this as a catastrophic loss of market opportunity, with Jungkook's golden period in the US and Europe now potentially wasted. But many counter that an artist's humanity must come before their commercialization. Still, the haunting question remains. In an industry that thrives on calculated consistency, is there space for personal prioritization? Or are they risking everything, including their place in the world's largest music phenomenon? Jungkook has yet to release an official statement addressing his decision. However, in a recent Vogue Korea interview, his words seem to foreshadow this crisis. Sometimes my career runs so fast that I have to stop, not to back down, but to make sure I know where I'm going. To many, this reads like a silent scream for agency over his own life path, regardless of its financial implications. While some fans fiercely defend him, others label his decision as unprofessional and emotionally driven, accusing him of jeopardizing not just his career, but the band's collective brand equity. Many believe that if Jungkook fails to seize this momentum, public perception and corporate faith in his viability as a soloist could diminish irreversibly. Could this be the beginning of his downfall? Meanwhile, Jimin remains a central figure in this turmoil. Reports suggest that after his solo album released late last year, he has struggled with severe psychological pressure, and Jungkook has been his only consistent source of support, even accompanying him on their current LA trip. Could this dynamic, born from loyalty and compassion, ultimately cost them both their careers if HYB sees their bond as an impediment rather than an asset? Neither HYB nor Bang Si-hyuk has issued a direct public response to allegations that Jimin is being blamed for Jungkook's professional standstill. However, their silence only deepens the public suspicion that the agency is, in fact, re-strategizing BTS's future around this internal friction. This situation is no longer merely about a postponed concert schedule. It has evolved into a high-stakes confrontation between individual well-being and corporate command, loyalty to a teammate versus obedience to the agency that built their empire. The consequences could be permanent, not only threatening Jungkook's rise as a solo global icon, but potentially tainting Jimin's standing as well. Fans are now left with a chilling question: if ARMY fails to support them through this turbulence, if this gamble of loyalty and personal choice over corporate demand backfires, will Jimin and Jungkook lose everything they have sacrificed their youth to build? Or will this become the defining moment that finally humanizes global superstardom, revealing that beyond the stage lights and billion-dollar market shares stand two young men who refuse to surrender their lives for metrics alone? The world is watching. And for Jimin and Jungkook, this is no longer just another headline. This is the ultimate test of whether an artist's humanity can survive in an industry engineered to prioritize everything but their soul. BTS faces an unprecedented crisis as reports reveal Jungkook rejected his solo world tour, allegedly due to emotional ties with Jimin. Insiders claim HYB is furious, blaming Jimin for hindering Jungkook's strategic momentum, sparking fears they could both lose everything. Was this Jungkook's personal choice or a rebellion against the agency's corporate control? Their presence in Los Angeles for undisclosed projects intensifies speculation about a secret collaboration sabotaging HYB's plans. Fans now fear that if ARMY fails to support them through this turmoil, their careers, solo credibility, and BTS's market stability could collapse. Is this a decision born of brotherhood or the start of their downfall? Neither Jungkook nor Jimin has addressed the allegations, while HYB remains silent, fueling rumors of internal blame and strategic tension. As global eyes watch, one question remains: can personal loyalty survive in an industry engineered to prioritize profit above all?